Okay, so here we are to our energy and motivation masterclass. Okay. Okay, there we go. I'm always getting this. Okay, cool. So let us start off by saying vulnerability is the absolute heartbeat of innovation and creativity. There can be zero innovation without vulnerability. This is one of my favorite sayings because when we are vulnerable, we are opened up to new experiences. We are opened up to, new ideas and creativity that we can apply in putting into action because we see a different point, we see a different direction. So I just want to introduce myself. My name is L'Oreal Nell. I am the founder of Essential Wellness Coach, Essential Wellness South Africa, and Alternative Therapies Workshop. These are integrated therapies to help you assume responsibility for your life, health and wellness approaches, techniques, resources, and tools to help you restore equilibrium to your body, mind, and soul. This is a little bit of what I've been up to over the past few years. We do support groups and workshops to create awareness around the different therapies, techniques, and collaborations with different practitioners to bring you the discovery of like either inner world healing, health restoration. It's all about taking responsibility for your well-being. In this masterclass, we are going to learn to use EFT to clear blockages. We're going to be starting to set ourselves healthy boundaries and ways to get motivated. And how we can apply these to our daily lives. Using these techniques will help you with stress management. It will help you stop anxiety in its tracks. It will help you to create balance and respect for yourself, which ultimately helps with time management, motivation, and overall well-being of our life. And then we will show you how techniques to get you motivated again. I would like to ask if you have ever used or know about EFT tapping. Please let me know in the chat section so that I can put it in here for you and just so that we can respond. Okay, so EFT tapping is emotional freedom technique. I have been using EFT tapping for over, I think it was 4 or 5 years now. In the beginning, my friend introduced it to me and I thought she was crazy. And then I decided to take the practitioner's course and I saw how my emotional pain started alleviating over the years, that deep-seated pain. Now, I myself suffer with endometriosis and vitiligo, and I have used like this to help me manage my emotional distress, my shortcomings, my get over any kind of thing that had set me back, whether it be blockages, whether it be anxiety, panic attacks. So this is a very easy way because what we're doing is we're tapping the vibration. So we are creating that vibration in our body. I have so many issues. We all have so many issues. This is the nice thing, is like we get to deal with our issues as we come across them. So because we're always looking back to the past, and we're always reflecting on it, and sometimes we just stay there, like, and that's where a lot of our issues come, is from past traumas, past situations, and we get on that train thought. Once we go, like we get, like I'll get up and go, it has gone and left us, and we're like, okay, now how am I supposed to deal? And half the time we always hear from people who want to run away from their own lives, but no matter where you go, those issues are going to follow you. So unless you actually deal with them, You know, also like using the emotional guidance scale to see where you are. Are you either on the upward spiral or you're on a downward spiral? This helps to keep you in balance. So I'm going to bring a little session in. I want you to do this with me. This is a very nice way to just get into our bodies a little bit and to start generating that vibration. So how I explain EFT to others is, remember jumping on a trampoline, you know, growing up, and you know, you jumping on the trampoline, you're having fun, and then you get off, and then all of a sudden you feel that lightness feeling, like, oh my gosh, like you still want to be jumping. That's what it feels like to be like after a tapping session. So without further ado, I think let's get it started. What I've done here is I've filled in the blank spaces. I mean, I've left the blank, I have blank spaces for you to fill in. So I want you to look, I'm going to actually bring this up a little bit. And I want you to look at the upward and downward spiral. Okay, yeah. I want you to pick 3 emotions that you would like to focus on now. Where is it blame? Is it revenge? Is it discouragement? Like, I want you to think of the 3 emotions that you're going through currently. And I want you to type that in the chat box so that we can use those 3 words to start a sequence. Oh, sorry. Okay, so let me zoom that in a bit. Does this help? Can you see it now? Oh, wait, this thing's not working. There we go. Are you able to see it now? So let me go through the most. Okay, yeah, so you can pick 3, you can pick 2, like whatever number, like let's do it between 2 and 3 emotions that you feel that you're going through at the moment. And we're going to use those 3 emotions to begin our tapping session. Maybe it's, you know, maybe that you want to let go of the past. Maybe you have stress, worries, and frustration around money. It could be releasing the guilt, or even believing in yourself. You know, some people lack that believing in ourselves because that comes from limiting beliefs. So you can go ahead and pick 3 there. And then we will use those in our section. Okay, so for you, it's believing in yourself. It is depression and anger. Okay, so we're going to use those to start with the sequence. I've created a little sequence here for us, which is, so I'm going to go through the moves with you quickly just to show you. I'm just going to move this down here. So here on the left-hand side of the page, you can see we have the karate chop. So that is called a karate chop. That is where we start with the vibration in our body. And then we're going to go from the karate chop, top of the head, mid-brow, side of the eye, under the nose, under the chin, collarbone, under the arm. And you really want to be able to like get like by your heart center, and you really want to tap into that. And then again, we go back onto the top. So let us use again. So we'll do one session on your depression and then anger, and then we'll do one on believing in ourselves. Okay, so let us start with the karate chops. You really want to tap in there. You really want to start creating a vibration. We want to tap and feel the vibration, but do not do it too hard that you hurt yourself. So we really just want to get that vibration. So feeling depressed and angry. I've been there. Like I have, like, we have these deep-seated angers that we can't seem to shift or vibrate us. Okay. So what I want you to do now is connect with your body, take a deep breath in. Even though, so you can repeat after me, or like you can do it out loud or in your head, but you really want to, speak it, because it gets that momentum going as well. So you want to start with, even though I feel angry, feel depressed, I don't quite feel like myself, but I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. We're going to do this again. Even though I have this anger and this depression, this feeling of depression, and I'm not quite sure why, but I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Such powerful words. Even though I feel angry, depressed, and it's coming from a deep-seated pain, but I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Okay, top of the head. Really get that vibration going. A part of me wants to thrive. Brow. Because I know deep down, I really want to live and feel. Side of the eye. I can't shake these feelings of anger. I want to be able to let go of this anger. Under the nose. I've tried everything. So we tell ourselves. But nothing seems to work for me. Collarbone. I've done it all. But now it's time to apply it all. Top of the head. I have these memories that just linger in the back of my mind. Brow. I wish I could erase some of these memories. But now I choose to shift my energy if I could choose happiness and to let go, and to see myself in a new light, then all of these feelings would go away. I wish to see myself thrive. Okay, I want you to take a deep breath in. I want you to just feel that feeling of your body for a moment. Just breathing in and out. Just from that small little session, what do you feel? What do you feel? Do you feel that vibration, that lightness? Do you feel like you were at a 5 and now at a 4? Okay, so you get fatigue from holding your arms up. So you like your body is physically tired. You're physically exhausted. So that vibration and that lightness is what brings in more good feeling. So part of the whole thing about lifting up your arms as well, you also, you opening up the top half of your chakras, you're opening up that vibration as well. So you need to, and this is the thing, how often do we really raise our hands throughout the day? It's quite heavy. If you like in yoga, like we stand and we do those things. You have psoriatic arthritis, bad shoulders, hands and elbows and all joints. Okay, so another thing is with that, let me actually get my chart out just so that I can give you a little bit of emotional, what the underlying issues. So, but you can do the tapping in shorter periods. I'll teach you another technique that you can do, which is called the soothing butterfly. So instead of tapping all this way, that you just tap vibration. So this is the butterfly. So you sit there and you can tap, you can do the same thing and tap it into your body, tap it into your system. No, it doesn't matter which fingers, whatever feels comfortable with you. I use the middle finger and the index finger because this is just one of the easiest ways to tap in. But if you'd like to try the soothing butterfly tap to create that vibration in your body, see if that's more comfortable for you. So arthritis, so I'm using my emotional pain chart. This is available on Google Images. You can look for it there. So here this is just the emotional, these are just the emotional connections to our physical pains in our body. Yes, you can switch arms, doesn't matter which one you're using. You can alternate between the two as long as you're creating that vibration. You can really just get yourself in there. Okay, so whatever feels comfortable for you, you just want to be able to create. You can even do whole body tapping. There's a thing called whole body tapping where you tap, because our body has so many meridians. Those are the energy points. So we are only using the 7, was it 9? So 9 meridians that we use to create the energy portals in our body to wake up that communication. So here it says, our body movement is reflective of our inner world. To feel your feet when you have struck the ground and know when you have need to turn your foot and align your body and the work. It allows you to be conscious in your body while instinctively bringing awareness to your life. Your mind body is connected. So this will help you so it's a very good chart. It is available on Google. So here it says the connections to arthritis is feeling unloved, criticism, and resentment. And if you have arthritis, you obviously have inflammation, and inflammation is fear and inflamed thinking. So you need to look at the areas of your life where you're feeling unloved and apply love to those areas. Yeah, inflammation, big time, big time. So again, so we're going to go through that. Like we'll go through like also eating for our body and stuff, eating for our energy. And then also, you know, if you're feeling weak in those areas, it means a need for mental rest. So because you are feeling so overconsumed by everything, you know, your physical pain, your emotional pain, that you also mentally exhaust yourself. So shoulders, if your shoulders get sore, this represents the ability to carry our experience in our life joyously. As you can see here on this upward spiral, you know, it's finding ways to have like that passion for life, that enthusiasm, that positive expression. And it's hard to feel that when you're physically in pain. So you have to find the emotional happiness to heal the physical pain as well. And using techniques like EFT will help you alleviate both and lift both the emotional and physical pain, because there's always an emotional pain behind a physical pain. We make life a burden by our attitude. So finding out what is like when you have, you know, inflammation, you have that fear. Are you feeding that fear? And then I just want to go back and read what you said there. So again, like shoulders, elbows. Okay, elbows represents changing directions and accepting new experiences. So sometimes you may find it difficult to open up and accept new challenges in new experiences, you know, opening up yourself to that. And then you've got also, you know, you got your joints, you got, you know, if you're also out of balance, you might have scattered thinking. Wrists, arthritis in the wrists also represents movement and ease. Like, are you moving through your decisions with ease? Are you moving through your emotions with ease, or do you linger? Like, anger is a very disruptive emotion, because when you're angry, you get irritated, and when you're irritated, you become annoyed. And you can see that how that becomes a ripple effect. So how can you change from anger? Is by dealing with that emotion as it comes. Like, why am I feeling? You have to pinpoint, because it's a buildup. Anger is a buildup of linger and all, which feeds the anger. That's right, because you're creating that ripple effect. So now if you want to undo that anger, you want to, you know, let go of that anger, you'll be like, okay, why am I angry? And you need to pick up on those emotions. Like, am I angry because, you know, someone did me wrong in the past? You know, that could also be the part of letting go and making peace with certain situations in our life. Anger can also be not forgiving yourself for things that you couldn't have accomplished, things that you couldn't get done, which also causes like a form of procrastination. So not dealing with the additional, all those little things that make up your anger. So you got to pick out those small little emotions: doubt, blame, worry, fear, because all of those lead into anger. You got that? Does it make sense to you? So right, all of them feed your anger. So we need to look at, I want you to I hope you got a pen and paper with you, and I want you to look at what is feeding, you go through your emotions, go through your past experiences and say, okay, like, Susie, took something of mine that I really, really adored. Like, she took my book, or she took something that was sentimental to me, and you're holding on to that anger. So you're like, you got a file in your system that has all these files on anger, and you're going to go into that file now, sort it out. Like admin, we got to do that admin. We got to filter out, we got to document, we got to throw out the old. We need to like get with the anger issues. Like, why am I feeling so annoyed with this person? Because sometimes you could be lashing out on someone else because you have this deep anger that you're not dealing with. So anger, so find find 5 or 4. Let's do 5. Let's do 5 experiences that are still keeping us angry. I want you to go into your filing system, in your mental filing system, and I want you to go and find those things. And I want you to take those experiences, and then I want you to use this tapping sequence to help you navigate it, to help you, okay, I'm going to deal with this today, even though I wish I could let go of this anger. And now I can, because I'm choosing to let go. You have to remind yourself that you choose to do this. You choose to let go. You want to let go. You're allowing yourself to let go. And this is such a profound experience when you give it to yourself, because you're gaining back that control, because now your emotions control you. You take back that control as well. Okay. So then let us move on to the next one. So you can continue doing this sequence. I'm gonna share the PDF afterwards, just so that you can have the whole sequence that you can do, and you can use those pain points and emotional points to go with it. So here, so now we're talking about boundaries. Okay. We all got either healthy or unhealthy boundaries, and some of those unhealthy boundaries are like putting yourself down. That's self-negative talk. Those are negative boundaries, because we don't believe in ourselves, we don't trust ourselves, so we keep putting ourselves down and making ourselves seem small, and that can really, really, really not be good for us, because every time we put ourselves down, we put ourselves in a not so worthy category. And we want to bring that back by expressing ourselves authentically without feeling guilt. Improving our emotional and mental health by setting boundaries with people. Choosing to say no when you want, like, people obligated for you to say yes, and you'll be like, not today. I'm not doing that today. I got to sort my health out. I got to sort my mental emotions health. I got to sit with these feelings and actually deal with them, instead of just, shrugging them over and feeling more guilty about it. And feeling guilty about it brings on anxiety. Again, that ripple effect happens. So, and also unhealthy habits is giving into pressure, giving into bad habits, bad tendencies, routines that we keep feeding. So people pleasing, avoiding our own emotions, and avoiding others, and so that we don't have to deal with them. So ways that we can set good, healthy boundaries, by putting things and saying, I will be taking responsibility for my well-being. I will maintain my self-respect by saying no when I really want to, when you mean it. Prioritizing and following through. expressing yourself authentically without self-judgment. And a lot of our self-worth, our self-talk, also shows us where we are in our self-worth. If we don't value ourselves, how do we expect other people to value us and respect us if we don't do that for ourselves? So we need to take that step and put a boundary in place. Like, I will not let you talk to me like this. It is uncalled for. Take back your power and say no. Also, setting boundaries in place can prevent you from that exhaustion and burning out. So if you do work those long hours, make sure that you take time for that self-soothing, that self-care, prioritizing your self-care so that you don't burn out, taking time off meditation. You know, if you're in the house, because I mean, working from home, you're in home all day, you're in the house, and then in the evenings again, you're in home all day, all night. You're not getting that outside stimulation, you're not getting that movement going, you're sitting more in your chair. And that automatically, you know, lowers your vibration, and that's where you have no motivation and no energy, is because you're not creating that movement in your body. So creating a boundary and saying, right, I will be doing X, Y, and Z every day for my health. I have to get up and stretch. I have to move my body. I'm sitting at this desk every day going through these things and like, oh, I should be doing this. Oh, I can be doing this. And you're not prioritizing, you're not planning. And that is where, you know, we don't follow through with our plan, prioritizing and planning of action. And then when we do these things, when we start planning and prioritizing and taking that responsibility, we improve our self-worth, our confidence, and our self-esteem, because we value ourselves. We value our stability, our mental health, our emotional. We value those things. Unless you're putting in the work to make great in that value, we're not going to get that value from ourselves or for ourselves, for our lifestyle. So this is just setting healthy boundaries. You know, grab your pen and paper. I've also got it in the book, which you'll be receiving. You know, there will be a fill out. They'll say like, okay, what are your unhealthy boundaries? What are your healthy boundaries? So you have to look at each side and see how you can create a balance. Okay, I can, you know, I can move over and start taking responsibility for my well-being by drinking the glass of water, by making a conscious decision. And all of that will start to improve the overall quality of your life. If you have any questions or anything you'd like to say, please don't hesitate to pop it into the chat there. Also, we have to remember that we are only human and we are not perfect. Our imperfections also make us what is unique, but we can also we are unique in our own ways. We have so much to offer, and you know, and what we have to offer comes based on how much we value ourselves. But we have to remember that we are not perfect, life is not perfect, and we're making the best of what we have, where we are. And you know, we have to be happy with that, and we need to create, again, those boundaries will create that for us. So find different ways to stay motivated and inspired at work or work from home space. So, you know, you got to find those ways, use your intuition. You know, we have this inner guidance system that we keep ignoring, and we need to find ways to, you know, stay motivated, stay inspired at work, especially in our work life. If we're not happy, how can we create that happiness in our job? Maybe it's playing music while we're working. Maybe it is, you know, taking those little intervals between our tasks in our workstations. Even changing up our workstation is enough to create a vibration and inspiration at work. And then, so ways that we can stay motivated is by the attitude that we have. So what is our attitude like toward like now, like, okay, how can I go from hating my job to finding success in my jobs? You know, you got to go into those ideas. You know, what ideas can you put together or have that could just spruce up, you know, like make a few little changes, is like little changes good as anything. So you're going to take those ideas, like maybe you want to put more plants into your office, maybe you work with crystals and want to create like a crystal grid that will help you. You know, you can incorporate some of the hobbies that you have, or your creations that you have, and then put them on your desk and put them around you. So it keeps you inspired. But like every time you look at it, like, that's mine. That's what gives me inspiration. This is what makes me feel calm. You could have like a little running water fountain. You could have pot plants all around, just to create a new sense of, because you're in control. You get to create that space. Like no one else is going to do it for you. So when you have these ideas, put them into action. That comes with your performance. You know, you want to improve your performance, improve your attitude, improve your attitude, and you can have success, because you will see success that you see, like, just as like the success goes up, you need to take those little steps going up and up and up. You got to take those little steps, because we want to get all the way up there, but we got so focused on the bigger picture that those little things in place, those little steps that we need to get there, play a huge role. So don't skip any of those things. It can be so hard. Yeah, it can be hard to improve your attitude, but you gotta try. You have to try. You have to find ways to improve your attitude. You can do it with affirmations, you know. You can do it with also EFT tapping. Like I choose to be in a better mood. It's not easy, but I choose to it. I'm allowing myself for this attitude change, this attitude adjustment. So you can't, so the thing is, like, you can't look, but you choose not to look at anything. There's a difference between I cannot do or I'm willing to do. There's a fine line between that, and you gotta put that little bit of effort. Positivity is not going to come by itself. It just doesn't, you know. And you're unwilling. See, at least you're being honest with yourself. This is the key to success. Is being being honest with yourself. But now the thing is, like, right, are you able to try and implement these kinds of I'm so negative. I get you. Like, this is why we need to harness that energy. This is why we need to bring that positivity back. And only you can do that. You could get support. You know, there are like coaches like myself who help, help you keep accountable, you know, for your actions that you want to make, the changes that you want to make, and follow, like you like we hold you accountable for these things. So even asking for help, it's not a bad thing to ask. You actually, it's a powerful thing. It's an empowering thing to say, like, I need help to get where I need to be. So people like myself are there to help you get motivated, get into the momentum of things, give you those different perspectives to look on, give you the tools that you may need to help pivot you to where you want to be. So the question you have to ask yourself is, like, are you willing? Like you say, it's hard and like you don't know if you can, but you've overcome challenges before and much greater. How big of a difference could, you know, gaining positivity, you know, gaining that motivation, like what would that mean to you if you could regain all of that? What would it mean to you? I get that a lot. Like, what's the point of doing all of this? Like, why should I bother? Because you still have life left on you. There's still so much, like, no matter how young you are, like, no matter how old you are, there's still so many things that you can be doing that, I mean, your life could, you're still young, you're still going into your senior years. You still have that time to make a difference in your life. You still, but the willingness, the wantingness, you've got to find what life means to you. Like, are you just ready to give up, or is there ways that because there is ways that you can, like, this is, you don't have to, this is what you've said that you've set into stone, but you want something better for yourself. Or else you wouldn't be at this class today. You wanted something, you want something better for yourself. Everybody's ready to give. If we all gave up, we won't get anywhere. We wouldn't be, and then you're going to be, that's a ripple effect that you're wanting to start, is giving up. Because a part of you still lives in the past. That's why you don't see a future. Those past situations have such a hold on you that you're refusing to see that there's a future for you. It's not hard. You're only telling yourself that it's hard because you don't want to put in the work. But as soon as you're ready to say, like, I'm ready, I'm ready to take responsibility for my well-being. And what does it mean for you? Like, what does it, they're all painful. Our whole past life has been a painful experience. I mean, whether it's emotional abuse, physical abuse, people have to overcome those things. And that's what makes you stronger. It's going to be painful. The past is more painful, but the future that can be pain-free, but you have to allow it. You have to allow that process to take place. So we're going to move forward. Like, I just want to bring this also as well to your attention. So this is one of the things as well. Like, this is part of our reward system that we give us. So, like, oh, what's the point of doing all of this? What is the point of getting motivated? And we get to reward ourselves, like, on a daily basis. Like, we can reward ourselves for, like, getting out of bed and making it. Those are enough to shift your vibration. So if you're looking at pain, you gotta, like, really, really say to yourself, like, there's still life. Is there still life left in you? Are you like just completely done? Because if you're completely done, then you wouldn't be at this class today if you're completely done. But because you're still trying to give yourself hope and remind yourself that there is something still there, you're at this class today because you want to know how. You want to put in those actions. You just don't know how. You have no one to hold you accountable. So we're going to talk now about the intrinsic motivation. Engage in a behavior that is personally rewarding, or are we an extrinsic motivated? So are we driven by external rewards, fame, money, or praise? Those are, like, there are two ways of things that get us motivated. Either it's internal peace or success, or it is external, like being rewarded and praised and receiving outside what's the word, materials. And otherwise an internal would be more like joy. For just finishing a task, you find the joy in it. Or if you're doing a task, just to reward yourself at the end of the day with if I do this, I'll give myself this. But then if you find things that keep you motivated to do your activities because it's internally rewarding, you choose to do it because it is fun, enjoyable, and satisfying. Your goal comes from within, and the outcomes of your goal satisfy your basic psychological needs for autonomy, competence, and relatedness. Otherwise, you're someone who looks for motivation outside to gain a reward to keep you motivated. Your goals focused on the outcome rather than to satisfy your basic psychological needs. Rather, it involves external gains. So you wanna more focus on the internal, doing simple tasks because it brings you inner peace. Because you know that, if you're waking up in the morning and you don't ever do your bed, and then when you go to bed, you're going back to a messy bed, but when you wake up in the morning, find purpose to make your bed. So that when you go to bed, by the time you get there, be like, wow, I made my bed. I feel good going into a made bed. That is enough to shift your vibration. That is enough to feel a sense of self-worth as well, because you got up and did a simple task. But we didn't need any external motivations to do that. It was completely a fun and enjoying, satisfying feeling that you did in the morning, so that when you go to bed, you have more peaceful sleep, you have more of a calm, and you can also feel gratitude for yourself for doing that. I thank myself for waking up every day and be like, I made my bed. I did the dishes. I did the dishes before bed, so I didn't have to wake up and do them in the morning. Those are simple things. I use it myself, but I find inner peace knowing that in the morning I don't have to do those dishes. So I have more to focus on my work, that I have more to focus on my day. Spend time with my dog, go work in the garden. I don't have to worry about those lingering dishes that I have to do for about 30 minutes. I could go be in the garden outside. I could take a walk. Those are the kinds of things. And that would also like if I do those tasks, I'll have more time to spend doing what I want to do because I prepared. Okay. So here are 4 ways. Oh, I got a typo. 4 ways to harness energy. Do this every day and results are based on your determination. Waking up every day with gratitude has proven to release stress and feel better automatically. So you can wake up in the morning and be like grateful that you have a job, even though you're working at home and that you hate it. You can still be grateful that you have one. You can be and do mini meditations, morning meditations. You can take a glass of water. Like, let's take this glass of water now, because you know how water is energy. Water has like, we are made of water. So you're going to take a glass of water and you're going to channel gratitude into this water. I'm so grateful I can drink this clean water that will fill my body, nourish it, provide sustainability for it. Water is life. And I'm feeding that energy, and then I'm going to drink it. I am my own boss. I work at my own pace. And, you can go on. You can even doing affirmations. If you get yourself a printed affirmation, put it in the glass, tap it out. Put that energy into it, because you're going to be feeding that to yourself. I'm going to take another sip. Oh, I swallow like a crocodile. Okay. Getting active, moving your body and getting, okay, I can wait for you. No, it's okay. May I continue? I will definitely have a look at this after our session because I am recording this, but I have copied and pasted, and I will definitely have a look to see if I have seen that before. Thank you for sharing. I really do appreciate that. Okay, so again, like water again is vibration. We're moving to that. Thank you for sharing that as well. And then the other thing is getting active. So as much as we sit that 9-to-5 job, we're sitting there, and sometimes we forget. Like I know I've done this plenty times where I'm in the zone and I'm working and I don't bother to get up to go to a toilet break. I don't bother to go and get up and get fresh water to drink. I have the same steel glass that was probably at my desk since yesterday. Moving your body, getting that blood flow, blood supply, stretching my body, just getting active, just a little bit active, it doesn't, just a little bit goes a long way. So even touching your toes, bending forward so I don't bend so I don't break, so that you move your body, hug yourself, you really want to, stretch. And that's very important because, with arthritis, I understand a little bit with the arthritis, with the inflammation. And actually, while I'm busy doing these sessions and I'm not moving my hands, I'm literally sitting with my hands, and I am just moving them like this, because I actually am developing arthritis in my one finger, in my hands, but mostly it's my one finger that is inflamed half the time. So I have to keep my body going. I need to keep those, you can hear the clicks every now and again, because I don't click it like your normal way that normal people would do. One of my friends gave me a technique to use, and right, it does, because the acidity buildup in our body also creates that, so that we can't move because it's too painful to move, and then we're stuck in these areas. And you just need to be able to, there are techniques that you can do, like while you're sitting in the office, you can just be able to just move your body and be able to get, so the one technique is to move your fingers, so you're not really clicking them, you're just like rubbing them side to side, and you're doing that up and down, and then you're moving them, and sometimes you'll hear those clicks and stuff, and that is I forgot what it's called, but you can hear the popping, you can hear the pop, and that's also a release of the acidity buildup in the body. So I'm not really doing much, I'm just wiggling, the joints, and I'm just turning them like this, left and right, and then just also you have to get that body going, that movement. That's how you feed the energies, with movement. So not moving is actually more damaging to our health. So getting that movement going, you have to get that movement going. You have to, create that, lymph drainage. You can do it in your arms and your wrist. These are things that you can do at home. It's so easy. You don't need people. You don't need people to, to always it's nice to go and see practitioners, but when you can't afford it and you need that self-help, there are techniques that you can do at home, which is part of your self-care. Yeah, I see. Like I also have to keep that blood flow, especially to this finger. Like I really I've seen my grandmother, and she's got arthritis, and the reason why how I picked it up in my body is because I can see that on my finger I've got this little bump that's forming, and then some days when it's inflamed, it's actually red and it's very painful. And then I had a friend who taught me, just to get that blood flow going through, get that momentum going in there. I've never had psoriasis, but only because psoriasis is a skin, but we have helped people with psoriasis. I don't have my portfolio with me right now, but we have seen really, really bad psoriasis, and we've helped people with it as well. There's another one that clicked. So you can see I've just like slightly bent this way, and then I slightly bend it that way. And then you'll just hear like little pops coming through, and that is pressure being released and those crystals that are forming in our joints. So now with swollen, when it comes to swollen, we want to be able to create, so like sausage fingers. So that's why you want to be able to create that release. So there are videos like on YouTube that can show you how to do lymph drainage. So this is to open up your lymph nodes in your arm. And then I did it for my swollen finger. I actually got I was in the bush and my finger, I pricked on something and something made my finger like fat like a sausage, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is scary. And then I went and I YouTubed a video that says hand and arm lymph drainage. So I learned how to open up my lymph nodes here. And then all I did was stroke. I literally spent like 10 minutes at a time, 3-4 times a day. I would be able to, just bring, and the next day the swelling was gone. I didn't need to do it again. So opening up those lymph nodes, doing that work for yourself, that is about taking responsibility. That is you putting in the work to make sure that your body is reacting the way that you want it to. Yeah, so whether you choose to do a lymph drainage, at home by yourself, you can open up the lymph nodes in the neck, or you can professionally go for an aroma lymph drainage. And you can even use some essential oils to help you with lymph drainage as well. So you can look into that. I think one of my colleagues actually has, she does the essential oil classes and stuff, and she does one on the lymph drainage. Yeah, ginger is really good for that. And then you get Entoflex as well, which is really good for the lymph drainage and the and your like acid reflux and stuff like that. So, but we'll get onto that at another stage before we go too off topic. But if you would like to discuss it in person, I will send you an email, and then we can converse back and forth with that. So also then again, diet plays a huge role when it comes to harnessing our own energy, because if you're this is an example I like to give to people or some of my clients, is like, especially if you're living such a fast-paced lifestyle, people like to eat takeaways, and oftentimes people don't realize that the people handling your food are also unhappy in their jobs. So now if that person's unhappy, and then I'm handling your food, excuse me, and you go home, that energy is transferred and you're eating it. You're eating that anger, you're eating that sadness, you're eating that depression, you're eating that low vibrational food. So you need and that's what goes into your body and mind, because you're absorbing all of that. So you need to eat high vibrational foods. Some people who pray before their foods, that food becomes high vibrational again, because you're blessing that food. So even if we sit there and we're like, I'm very grateful for this food, we can turn it into a high vibration, but we don't want to eat dead energy foods, because it's going to feed more dead energy into our body. Right. So now while you're cooking, you're using that energy. You're trying to keep up, and you're feeding that food. And now every time you feed that food with positivity, you're going to be eating that positivity too. You're going to be eating it. You're going to be like that energy harness stays in your body. So you're cooking with, I don't cook. Like if I don't feel like cooking today, I know it's going to turn out a bad meal. And I will tell my partner, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not cooking today. I can't. I know that the food, and then if I do cook when I'm angry or upset or I really don't want to, the food doesn't come out as good. But I did warn them. I was like, this is not going to be a good meal. It's not going to be a happy meal. It's definitely not going to be a happy meal. So just, using these techniques, applying them every day, making the conscious decision. Okay, the consciousness, our conscious plays a huge role because we are the driver. We drive these thoughts. We feed them. So are you feeding that negativity or are you feeding that positivity? Because it's like, you got, and you can always treat yourself as a stubborn child. Like, when we're a kid and you're like, if you don't eat your food, you're not going to get dessert, and be like, I need to eat this food because it's good for my body. It's good for myself. And the more you feed that kind of energy into your body, you're feeding your life. It's going to be that ripple effect. Day one, it's going to be hard. No one says it's going to be easy, but it's harder because you pushed yourself so far down that it's hard to get up. And to go through that pain, to lift yourself up, is going to be hard. But as long as you're putting in the effort and embracing it, it's going to be less hard. The more willing you are, the more you're willing to embrace the experience and embrace the changes and embrace the consciousness that we could be providing for ourselves, the better it will become. The less painful it will become, the less hard it will be for us to make these kinds of changes. But you also got to hold yourself accountable. You got to hold yourself responsible for what you're doing in your life. Your life can begin today if you wanted it to, but you're choosing to say that it's almost done, it's almost over. Like, no, there's so much that can be achieved in 1 year. There's so much that you can achieve in 3 months. There's so much that you can achieve in just 4 weeks, 2 weeks. But you gotta feed that energy, consistency. It's only hard if we have resistance. Remember that. Change is only hard if we're resisting the change. But when we start to embrace the change, the changes that are necessary, that means that we are going to start applying them. We're going to start putting in the action. The more we tell ourselves it's going to be hard, it's going to be hard. We're like, oh. So practice less resistance. Practice like tomorrow, like when you know that you got resistance, like you're like, okay, I want to do this, but you have that resistance. So if you had to allow yourself to just do a little bit of that task, to a little bit of that feel good, but you have to allow yourself to do that. And one way you can do that is also reminding yourself, you can tap it. I allow myself to embrace these changes. I choose to be less resistant. I embrace, you work, you tap it into your system, get it out there, get it out of your system, because if it stays in your system, it's going to linger, it's going to manifest. Do you want to bring it out? Do you want to embrace the changes? I choose to embrace this. Change is not easy, but if we're resistant to that change, I'm like, I can say, oh, I'm going to get up tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, I'm going to do I'm going to do exercises, and comes tomorrow and I'm like, oh, tomorrow, tomorrow's another day. I got tomorrow. Don't stress about it. But unless we deal and put the action in today and make it happen, remember, doing it every day, you want to be consistent. So if I have to set a reminder on my phone to remind me that I need to get up and do a little bit of exercise, why not? Let's take that 5-minute break and go for a walk. And that's where creativity and innovation comes through. But without being vulnerability, let's go back to that first one. Remember, vulnerability, so choosing, so being less resistant is being vulnerable. Vulnerability is the absolute heartbeat of innovation and creativity. There can be zero innovation without vulnerability. So you want the changes, but you don't want to put the action in. It's not going to happen. So it's up to you. It's up to you to make those changes. It's up to you. You know, you can, like I said, you can get the support you want. If you want support, you have it, you know. So if you want to get your energy, if you want to get into your motivation, I offer a 4-week coaching program at $88. You get all the resources you need, you get all the tools, you get your one-on-one coaching sessions, you get printouts that you can put on as a visual reminder of, you know, you have to have your goals. You're going to look at your goals, because even still at your age, you still want to be achieving goals. You still want to achieve. I'm thinking it's just because you don't have a plan, and you're not giving yourself that chance to see what possibilities are still available for you, because you haven't opened yourself up to that. So let's open up that for you. You know, let's make those changes. Let's, you know, get that energy and motivation going. So if you're ready and you really want to embrace, you know, and be less resistant, you know, take this, let's, you know, jump onto a discovery call, book a session, and talk about it, and you go through it. Let's go through those blockages, because obviously something's blocking you from wanting more for yourself. So my sessions are, we can either break it down into 2 sessions a week, or like we do, and I do 1.5 hour, 1 to 1.5 hour sessions. And I usually break that down if the client wants one day, because usually they're busy. But if you got more time, we can split it up and do it into 2 45-minute sessions. That will be like a 90 minutes a week. And that's just to keep you supported, hold you accountable for your actions. That will be, you know, you get your workbook, your strategies, to help you put into place. And I mean, it works out to like $22 a week. I mean, and that's an investment in yourself. Like, that's an investment to like get you where you want to be. You want to pivot, you want to get that motivation and energy back into your life. So and the thing is, that's exactly how I want to be. You know, I love, like, you know, I've got bigger packages and I've got these things, but it doesn't, you just want to be, I still got to make I put a lot of effort into, you know, putting the program together. You know, I've used it on myself. Like, that's why I created the program, because I needed that motivation and I needed that energy, and I used those steps to help me regain balance into my life. I'm also stubborn. I'm a Taurus. I'm very stubborn. Like, I'll do things at my own pace. But with the strategy, I was able to pivot myself to where I wanted to be. And I gave myself new opportunities in the process. So I will, after this call, I will be sending you I can send you a copy of this as well. This presentation is available. And then I've also got another workbook, which is a self-help book. And then with that, you can book your discovery call and we can jump on board and then we can start. What do you think? Great. I'm so happy to hear that, Anne. Okay, our session is well overdue to be done. And I wanted to thank you for joining me, and I hope that you have learned and got to experience a little bit of what you could be doing for yourself and how you can pivot to your own success and into your own life, get more involved in your own life. So if you have any questions, please feel free to email me after I've sent you your freebie, and let's jump onto that call. Let's jump and see how we can get you where you really want to be, and let's discuss that. So thank you so much. for joining. I really do appreciate you joining. It was so lovely to connect with you, Anne, all the way from Wisconsin. I'm so glad. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Okay, I'm going to say bye.